Okay, and Tori. Yeah. Tori plays beach volleyball at Stanford and Kylie at Oregon, and I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
You want to start?
No, go.
Kylie, you want to start?
What?
I think her screen's frozen.
Oh, sorry. Like, kind of happy all of a sudden. I'm not gonna lie, my connection. But hi, I'm Kylie Robinson.
I tell you what. All right, I tell you what. How about Tori? How about you start?
Start.
Hi guys, I'm Tori. I'm Tori. I grew up in Pasadena, California. I went to both Mayfield Senior School and LaSalle High School. I transferred after my sophomore year. I started playing beach volleyball when I was about 12, 13 years old, and I started playing indoor probably a little earlier than then. I grew up around volleyball my entire life. I actually played my first and last years of club at SG Elite, and I played beach volleyball since I was 12, so I grew up playing that, but that was more of a summer thing for me always, because obviously Pasadena, California is about an hour and a half from any beach. And I was a setter, right side, should have been a libero, but never actually played as one. I'm only 5'6". And I also decided to play indoor club, even though I was playing beach volleyball in college, because I love volleyball. It was a bunch of great opportunities to keep playing the game, especially since the beaches were far. And now I'm at Stanford. I am a sophomore currently, and I love the game. If I could play indoor for Stanford, I would, but they're too good. But I am a defender, and I typically play on the right side. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. Kylie.
Okay. Hi, Kylie Robinson. I play at Oregon. I'm a redshirt freshman setter. So technically I am a sophomore academically, but a freshman in volleyball. I started volleyball when I was, I think, 7. I did like the little youth leagues where my dad was the coach. Shout out to Dario, he was the greatest. And then I started club volleyball when I was around 12 at Club West, and then my freshman year of high school, I switched over to SG Elite, and I ran track, and I did volleyball throughout high school, and then I went to Oregon. I don't think, what else should I say? I wasn't really, you said a lot, and I was like really into what you were saying, and then I forgot what I was supposed to say.
I think you guys have both done an incredible job.
Okay, cool.
Why did you, just both of you, I'm just curious, why did you guys choose those particular colleges, both of you?
For me, academics were always a big thing. And so when I started talking to Stanford, it was kind of like, why would I choose anywhere else? And I mean, growing up, I two very strong parents who kind of not forced me, but really pushed me to be academically inclined. And so when, again, Stanford started talking to me, I was like, it's a great mix of school and a great mix of sports, and I couldn't see myself going anywhere else. So, yeah.
Cool. My dad wanted me to go to Stanford, but I failed. Kylie, how come you chose Oregon?
Chose Oregon because I really like the vibe of the campus, and I really like the coaching staff. Like, as soon as you get to Oregon, everybody there is wearing Oregon stuff. Like, you can't walk 5 steps without seeing a duck, an O, or some kid in an Oregon t-shirt. So I really liked how involved the school was in athletics, and like how the athletics department like really helped out their student athletes, and just like the whole Oregon culture.
That's cool. Did you know I lived in Corvallis, Oregon, and went to Oregon State and took 1 class there during the summer. So I'm your rival. Did you know that?
That's rough, Ryan.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it up. Felt good.
A little rough, yeah. It's a little rough. You took 1 class there?
I took 1 class in the summer. I spent a summer up there when I was your age, actually, maybe a little bit older, and worked out and took 1 class, 1 summer school up there. It was a great summer.
Wow.
Oregon sweet.
Brutal.
Tori, you said that you played beach and indoor. Can you go more into why you decided to play indoor towards the end of your prep career?
I played my last few seasons of indoor. One, because as I mentioned before, going to the beach every day to practice or just play volleyball all the time, it would have taken an hour, 2 hours to go there and back. And also, I believe that with what I was doing, like setting and playing right side or playing outside, there was a lot of skills that I could keep working on, whether it was hitting. I'm short, so finding ways to mix up the game for indoor and find a lot of power through that was awesome. But I feel like it was a great mix of both, because indoor and beach, well, beach obviously helped my indoor game for high school and club, but then indoor for beach also helped that because it allowed me to grow in different aspects, whether it was jumping or just using my hands more on the beach, because that's something that I like to do, but I don't always do, which is something that my coaches tried to pound on me now. But yeah, I loved playing SG Elite my senior year of high school, so that was awesome.
Hey, Tori, I feel like, because you were like, I learned a lot from the beach going indoor, and I hear that a lot. Like, I hear that a lot. Oh, okay, I learned, I was able to apply that from the beach going indoor. So I thought it was interesting that you said you used some stuff from the indoor on the beach. I'm just curious what you meant by that.
So I think that sometimes when I get too caught up in the beach game, because again, I'm gonna repeat it, but I am short, so I would be a lot shootier or bail to my cut shot or bail to my high line. Whereas when I'm in indoor, obviously like power, go is type the mantra in that. So for me, coming from indoor to beach, it kind of reminded me I can hit, even though I am 5'6", I can hit and I can jump and I can do that. So also there's a lot of things about being technically sound for indoor that sometimes you forget in beach, because with indoor, straight arms, straight angles, right? So for beach, typically you kind of pull away from that, but you really shouldn't. So bringing those aspects of technical perfection from indoor into beach is actually really important that I did never realize until going to college. So that was awesome to kind of transfer that into my beach game.
That's cool. Tori, you may be mini, but you are mighty. I just wanted to say that. I know.
And Tori, you said you played a lot of positions when you're indoor. You said you were like a setter and then you're a right side. And I know Kylie kind of was flexible with her positions. You want to go into that, Kylie, maybe?
Kylie or Tori, both of you played multiple positions, and I think either of you can answer that. You can both answer that. Kylie, why don't you go first?
Okay. I'm not gonna lie, my computer kind of cut out. Can you ask the question one more time, though?
I noticed that because you were frozen and confused.
Okay, Kylie, well, Tori was talking about how like she played right side and center and everything like that indoor. Do you want to maybe talk about your position flexibility?
Oh, yes. Okay.
From the beginning.
So I started out, okay. So when I first started club, I started out as an outside hitter at Club West, and I did that for about 2 years. And then I transferred to right side. Did that for about 2 years. Wow, nice. 2 years. And then I was going to SG Elite, and I tried out as a right side hitter, and I made the team. And then Otto thought, hey, like, Kylie wants to try out setting. Let's try her out there. So I think what I learned was Molly and I were going to do like a little 6-2 situation where we're going to hit and she's going to set, and we're both going to do all of that. But then Molly went up a grade, or she went up to do the next grade. Why can't I think of that word? She went up a grade level. And so it was me and Caroline, and we ended up just sticking me to just setting. So I've done both sides of the pins and setting. And I was probably going to be a libero depending on the club that I went to if it was not SG. So really been all over the place. But yeah.
Ryan, looks like you're working on something there. Do you want
to talk about it?
Mm-hmm.
It was my mom. She's constantly concerned about me, and so I was just chatting with her, telling her everything's okay. I'm in the middle of a Zoom session, and my co-host is going to call me out on it, and now I get to tell her that.
Oh, no, I thought you just like had like a question you were really getting excited to ask if you're writing something down.
But I do have a question for Kylie that has nothing to do with volleyball. I always felt, because I lived in Oregon, I always felt like the bacon was better in Oregon, and I have no idea why I felt that way, but I did. Do you think that?
Bad news.
You don't think that?
Bad news, I don't eat bacon.
Okay, Serena, just start asking Tori questions. I don't want to.
Okay. Tori, how do you feel about your season being canceled? Like, be honest. Are you excited to get another year of eligibility, maybe start on grad school, or how are you feeling?
Okay. So I think there's a lot of positives and negatives behind it. I think it was hard because once it was happening, obviously all the seniors, their key season got cut short, and this was before any ruling on the NCAA came out with they got an extra year back. So I think that was the hardest part for me, and obviously working for 6 months before we start season. For those of you who don't know, beach volleyball is a spring season, unlike indoor, which is fall. But working for 6 months and then getting my season cut short was definitely hard. I mean, it wasn't like a positive news, but I think for me, the thing that kept me kind of more emotionally sane about it was just realizing that this was what needed to happen to make the world safe and healthy. But I think there's a lot of positives because I never thought about going to grad school and playing for a 5th year. And I actually am thinking about possibly graduating early and doing 2 years of grad school and playing 2 extra years at another school. So I think there are a lot of positives and negatives, but in the moment it was definitely upsetting. But I think kind of coming out of that, being home now, I've found more positives and things to look forward to.
That's really good, Tori. That's really good.
Agreed. What's your major, Tori?
I am an econ major, economics.
Oh, Serena didn't like that.
No.
Kylie, what's your major?
Psychology.
Yes! Bro, you, me, Ellis, and McConnell, all psych majors.
I was thinking minoring in psych before I decided to possibly graduate.
Not the same, Tori, not the same.
How'd you guys pick your majors? Was that something that you guys knew going in, or is it something kind of developed?
I started out wanting to be an environmental studies major. Well, first environmental science, then I realized you had to do chemistry, and I suck at chemistry. So then I switched to environmental studies, and then just going to all the lectures, it was super interesting, but the vibe was just not for me. I couldn't be that person that was trying to save the planet by convincing everybody else. So then I switched over to psychology because it's like the same idea of helping things, but instead you're helping people. And it seemed really interesting. So here we are.
I actually kind of similar went in thinking that I was going to do something else. I thought I might try doing the pre-med recs and being a human biology major, and then similar thing where chemistry kind of took me out of it, but got through chemistry the first gen ed class, realized I didn't want that, and knew I liked econ from high school, so went that route. Yeah.
All right. Kylie, how does academics in college differ from academics in high school? Because I know you had a lot on your plate in high school.
I would say academics in college for me is a lot more fun. In high school, I had a bunch of classes that I didn't really want to do that were AP Gov, Econ, but a bunch of classes that you just were forced into doing. But now in college, because you are working towards your major and you do get to pick all of your classes, I think it's really nice that I don't know. Well, it's you get to pick your classes, but also you get to pick classes that are hi, Mom. Is there anything I can do? No, you're good. No, it's okay. I started working again. Okay. Thanks.
Hi, Miss Robinson.
Oh, they said she's gone. They said hi. Okay, cool. But academics in college is just like more focused on what.
Said hi.
Jesus. They all said hi. Everybody in SGLE said hi.
Hi.
We all say hi. All of us say hi.
Aww.
Okay.
Thanks for
Okay.
the cameo.
Love that. But yeah, so now that it's like more focused on things that I like want to focus on, I think it's more interesting, and like just the college like culture, and everybody is just, I don't know, I feel like since like you are learning like certain material and you're going through these different courses, like you start meeting people that are very like similar to you, especially through like the athletic community. So like I have my friend Taylor who's on football, and we're doing all of our psych classes together because the way that we make study guides, when you combine them, it's perfect for tests, but separate, awful. But yeah, so it's great. Sorry, kind of got off topic there.
Good. We like tangents, Kylie. You're good.
Tori, how do you feel about the balance of academics and your sport at Stanford?
Balance. Okay. I think that it's just the one thing that I'll say about it is just being on top and knowing kind of when to do it. I think during this time of quarantine and being in the pandemic has kind of taught me that I do better when there's stress because it makes me do my work rather than all the free time. So I think just being on top of things and just whether it's going to school and then going to practice and then having 2 hours of work to do, just doing it rather than saying, I'm tired, you know? So I think just being on top of it, knowing what you need to do, and also just taking some fun classes that may not have to do with your major because there are so many units that you can do those things. So, yeah.
Do you want to talk about some of those fun classes you've taken?
I took a class called Sleep and Dreams.
Wow.
That was just 10 weeks of talking about sleep, and anytime they actually wanted you to fall asleep in class. So when you would fall asleep in class, they would spray you with a water bottle and then you'd have to wake up and say drowsiness is red alert. Because their thing was if you're drowsy, it's more actually, it's more bad for you than being fully just asleep. So they say if you're tired, just go to bed. They'll wake you up. And you got an extra credit point if you did that. So kind of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, I'm actually curious. Well, because you're talking, there's been a lot of studying going into like sleep and stuff. Are you guys applying that a ton? Are you guys talking about that a lot? A lot of top teams are talking about sleep, like more than anything right now. Tori, are you guys
Not so
applying
much
that?
on my team.
I'm asking, are you guys applying like how many hours you guys are sleeping? You guys recording that? It's kind of a thing that's being talked about. Is that happening to you guys or no?
We don't record it, but we definitely do have during school year, we have people come, or I think we have had 2 talks each year that I've been at Stanford about sleep and just the positives and kind of us asking questions to this woman that comes and talks to us about sleep. So it's kind of nice that we get to have a person from the med school to come and talk to us. So, but we don't really do any major implementation of sleep schedules, I guess. Yeah.
Just out of curiosity too, just your transition from like club, high school into volleyball. What are things that in your transition did you expect? What are the things you are like, oh, that is exactly how I kind of thought it was? And then more importantly, what are things that are totally different than what you expected going in? Is there anything like that? Totally what you guys expected?
I think the biggest thing I didn't expect was that it's really easy to ask. Well, it's not really easy, but there's so many people that want you to ask for help. So I guess it's just building up that courage and strength to do that. But they all say, or I guess everyone at campus and all the people in the athletics department and everyone at school is just, if you need help, ask for it, which I wasn't expecting. I thought it was going to be a little more independent. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would say like all of the resources that they just like throw at you the first day. They're like, here's your nutritionist, here's your trainer, here's your doctor, here's somebody if you want to talk about mental health, like all of that kind of just hit you at once. You're like, whoa, I didn't even know all of these people were here. Like, that's crazy. But yeah. Also, something I didn't expect was, or something I didn't think about was making your own food. I didn't realize that would be a thing that you had to do when you got older. I don't know why, but that was a great one for me to learn.
Like, I literally remember, so first thing too, like just to recap what you said, like you do have a lot of support in college, like more than you used to. So like ask for that. Like both you guys mentioned that. I think that's totally true and something I screwed up at for sure at college. And then I also remember actually when I first got into it, how little that I actually knew, like you're talking about food and putting together. I remember my first in the dorms, a guy who was like he was a 5th year, like senior, like super senior. And he was asking me if I eat healthy. And I was like, yeah, I eat pretty healthy. And right when I said that, I dipped a piece of bacon into syrup and ate it. And that was my freshman year in like the dorms for the first time. And that's when I discovered how little I knew you know? And now I can't do that because I'll gain like 20 pounds in like 2 days if I do that. But yeah. Sorry, I'm way off topic.
Okay, going off of that topic of cooking for ourselves, do you guys have some things you realized that you had to do living on your own? Like, obviously you guys have to pay rent for the first time and that's a thing, but were there any like shocks to the college lone life that you weren't expecting?
I would say finding different things to eat. Especially with my roommates, we kind of get on this like topic, like not even a week, maybe like 3 weeks. I think we had pasta for lunch and dinner every day, just different varieties of pasta. But wait, what was I talking about? Wait, what was the question? I
What are
like
some
instantly thought
things you didn't expect to have to do now that you're living alone?
Oh, yes. Make food yourself. Think of different things to make. Having to collaborate with other people in your room or like in your apartment that aren't your family. And I would say probably just, like not having your parents just say like, go to bed or like, hey, you have practice the next morning. Maybe you shouldn't stay up till 2 a.m. doing homework. That's probably been like the biggest thing for me. Tori?
Sorry, go Tori.
I will say that Stanford is a little interesting that all of us live in dorms on campus. So we all get dining hall food all 4 years. So I actually don't have to make my own food right now. But some stuff that I don't know, everything that Kylie said. But I think also just when things are broken, having to deal with it myself nowadays. Like my bike was broken a lot of freshman year and I had to go back and forth and borrow friends' trucks to drive it to the bike shop. Similar like sleeping schedules, managing that by myself. I don't know. I think a lot of it came from with the independence and just like understanding that I wasn't going to be pampered anymore by my parents. And so just kind of figuring it out. Probably haven't fully figured it out.
Yeah.
That's all of us.
Yeah.
We got a volleyball question down here. They're asking someone's asking, did you do anything to stand out through the recruiting process? And for Tori, was it any different on the beach and indoors? That's for both of you.
I would say one thing that my coach talks about a lot, especially now, like, because he will talk about recruits and like what he's looking for. One thing that he talks about is how people like work with their team and how they are. So like he'll talk about the leadership, like who's leading the team or like what their role is on the team or how hard of a worker they are. I get my head coach, his favorite thing is people who go out all the time. So I'd say like, if you are that kid who's like going for every ball no matter what, like even if it's like in the back corner, like off the court and you're still running for the ball, just like trying to get it up for someone, I'd say that's something that Matt talks about a lot that he looked for in our recruiting class, or at least my recruiting class, was just like the girls that were kind of just willing to just, I don't know, lay out for a ball. And yeah, very talkative girls too.
Yeah, definitely just being confident and being talkative, loud, and just showing that you yourself know how to play. And I think for me, at least, with the beach recruiting process, it definitely was started very early. I started my sophomore year trying to get recruited, I guess. And then it wasn't actually until the assistant coach at the time saw me in a tournament live that I started talking to Stanford. But Siri keeps going off. But I wouldn't say it's that different than the indoor process on the beach versus indoor recruiting process. Definitely reaching out to coaches, even though I don't know the rule now, but you can't talk to them until your senior year. Is that right? But is that right?
Trent, just answer. Trent, unmute and answer that. That's a good timing for you.
You can't talk directly to a D1 coach until June 15th of your sophomore year.
Oh. I think I didn't talk to them until like after my junior year. I don't even remember, but it's not that different. Reach out, show them that you want to be there. Yeah.
Cool. Do you guys have a favorite, just out of curiosity, have any favorite volleyball, like personal favorite volleyball plays from your career? Or volleyball moments, it doesn't even have to be volleyball.
I got one. On Friday mornings, my team practices at 7 a.m. So it's pretty dark when we get out there, but then around like 7:45, 8 o'clock, it kind of gets bright and the sun shines behind our little scoreboard. And I was playing against we were playing just matches that day, and one of my teammates was on the bad side with the sun just right in her face, and I served the ball purposely right through the sun.
So the bad side is the side where the sun's in your face.
Yeah, because you just can't see. If you're looking in that direction, you can't see. And
I thought like your friend was on the bad side, like the two worst players were over there.
Oh.
That's the bad side.
I should have clarified my bad. And I purposely stand right where the sun's coming from, serve her the ball, and honestly, she was the better of the two players. I just knew that she wouldn't see. So I serve it to her, and she guesses, goes straight here, ball falls underneath. And it was one of the funniest moments of my collegiate volleyball career.
Kylie, what about you? Kylie, there's plenty. I remember some.
I know, I was thinking, I was like, should I do one from SG or should I do one from...
Kylie, this is your floor. It's your night.
You pick, Brian, SG or...
You can do as many as you want.
Okay, I would have to say Serena. Serena, okay, so when we had the last practices before the coaches, or no, it was after our last day as seniors, and our coaches weren't allowed to coach us anymore, so we had to come in and just make up practice plans. There was one where we decided to switch positions, so I think Bella was setting, I was hitting outside, Peyton was hitting outside on the other side, and we were just doing like, I think it was like 4-on-4 or something, and I don't even know what happened, but the ball shot up to the ceiling and it ended up like hitting Bella in the face on the way down. Yeah. I don't think I've ever like dropped to the floor so fast, just laughing so hard.
I think
that was great.
I remember getting that video. Like I remember where I was and getting that video and laughing. Also because A, it was just funny, and B, because I don't know why, poor Bella, but her head had gravitational pull. I don't know why, but no matter where she was standing on the court, if she kicked it where the ball was, it was going to find that way to somewhere around her head. I don't know why she had that, but that's what she had.
And she like walked away too after it hit the ceiling, and then somehow it just followed her.
Well, magnet
for cranium. I don't know what the deal is with that.
Jeez, yeah.
Guys, what are you guys doing with your free time right now? Are you guys watching anything cool? Seeing anything cool? How are you guys continuing volleyball in some sort of way? Some people are like, they're all in different stages of this. Where are you guys at with those things?
Currently we have our trainer, Coach Rad. He's about 5'4", and he is very feisty, and he does all of our workouts with us. He's probably like 65 years old though, so really crazy guy. But he puts up our workouts on this app called The Bridge, so we still have workouts to do every single day, along with like a workout that we also put on top of it. You just find another workout to do. And so to keep our team accountable, we've made a separate Instagram that's just a workout Instagram. So we take time-lapse videos of us working out and we post it on those. I think I have 10 followers. It's literally just the team. So we'll work out every day. We'll do, our head coach Matt made videos on YouTube on how to use household items to practice volleyball. For instance, he has one where it's dumping, and you have both your parents or two people hold up pillows, and then you have to be on the other side of the pillow working on dumping over them onto the couch. So
are the parents like, I didn't sign up for this?
Oh no, Dario loves it. Dario's in it. Like, no, I don't. Because Matt was like, oh, your parents will like the videos. And I was like, yeah. I was like, he'll be interested. No, my dad is in it. He made a ladder. Okay, so like ladders like you step through for like quick feet or something? My dad decided to make one. You could just buy one. But he decided to make one out of rope, and he connected it from the banister at the top of my staircase because it makes like an O. So besides working out, been doing a lot of volleyball stuff via Dario
Yeah.
Incorporated.
So just out of curiosity, like, are they getting any better? Like, do you see some improvements in your parents? Are they starting to get the game a little? Are you teaching them? Oh yeah, we got something here.
So Dario, my dad, has the stickiest fingers I've ever seen in my entire life. He will literally set the ball. Huh?
I was just saying sticky fingers for no reason at all. I apologize.
Okay. Well, his fingers are really stiff. They're sticks. And after I showed him the videos that Matt gave us, because Matt wants us to he wanted us to go back to the basics and do holding the ball, shifting, and then do all of that stuff. He's also show your parents so that they can do it with you. I was like, all right, here we go. It's all right, Dario. My dad knows how to set now, guys. I don't know. It comes out clean probably 6 out of 10 times. Insane improvement. It's not even more working on me anymore. It's all right, Dario, what do you want to do today? What do you want to get better at? So yeah, we've been working out and doing volleyball, but mainly been on the working out side, and that's what our team's been focusing on. So
Cool.
yeah.
Tori, how's your volleyball coming along?
Definitely taking a little rest because right when all this happened, we were in the middle of season, and I've actually been doing a rehab for my back, so continuing to do that. So nothing too crazy, but to go back to the question of what else am I doing? I've been painting a lot, so that's been fun.
Well, let's see.
Yeah. Oh.
Gosh.
Yeah. I like it.
Okay.
Your host. Way to put her on that. By the way, Kylie, I don't know. Kylie does art too. I don't know if you guys are.
I painted this.
Bring it closer. Okay.
Very cool.
Okay.
How much are you selling that for?
How much are you willing to buy it for?
Right now, I'll send you 2 rolls of toilet paper.
Hey, that's pretty expensive.
Yeah, that's basically no. I'll do it for I don't know how much you want.
I don't know.
You just got a new spot. I'm trying to decorate. Let's make a deal here. What do you got?
Process of painting a lemon and a flower.
No, look, I think that's
nice.
I'm more. I'll purchase the first one. Kylie does art too, by the way. Kylie's a good artist. She's gonna be shy and she's gonna hate me for bringing this up, but Kylie's a really good artist.
Thanks, Brian.
Tori.
Let's see, Kylie.
I don't have anything here though. I'm not gonna lie, I took all of my art stuff up to Oregon because we're there during the summertime for summer school, so we get kind of bored.
Yeah, fair enough.
All of it there.
Is all your stuff still at school?
You mean did I move out? Or do you mean clothes wise?
Or I guess you live in an apartment, I assume. Or
Yeah. Yeah, so I didn't have to move anything, so I just left it all. But I did bring 2 suitcases home, so yeah, I was prepared.
Carry on home. A carry on. That's all I've been living out.
Serena, Kylie, and if you end up playing professionally at some point, which all 3 of you probably have the ability to do, actually I know that, that's how you're gonna be living out of a suitcase for a while. If you decide to do that, just saying.
I've done it for 2 months. I'm so prepared.
I don't know if I could do that. 1 suitcase?
You want to see?
Listen to this. All of the stuff at school, all my stuff at school is in my dorm, and they moved all the stuff out.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
all.
That's all you got?
They moved all the stuff out of my dorm, and I have no idea where it is. All of my stuff. Yeah.
Wait, who moved it?
Some movers, because they were putting
Movers.
Yeah, professional movers.
You got robbed.
Between healthcare workers and respondents in our dorms. So they moved all of our stuff out. Have no idea where it is.
Oh, wow.
Listen, I saw this in a movie. The faster the movers are, the more likely you're not going to get your stuff back. Like if you're like, oh, it's all gone in an hour. They're really speedy. You're not going to hear from them again.
Serena, what movie was that?
I don't remember. It was some Tyler Perry movie though.
Let's get back to volleyball for just a second.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, for just like a second. No, I like it. Like, I'm curious. I'm more interested in that stuff anyways. But I'm just curious if you have any takeaways, like from, like if your biggest, the things that you've learned, like, and it's hard to say like what you've learned the most, but just through your volleyball career, your athletic career, like, what do you feel like the biggest takeaway is so far? And I'm sure that'll change.
I think loving what you're doing is important. And I think I've heard this from a lot of people, not just in volleyball, but in life. Like the people that make the most change are people who are passionate about it. And also I think that really applies to volleyball. Like you'll get a lot better if you love it. You'll do your best if you put your hardest and most passionate work into it. So I think that's my biggest thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
I would say finding the fun in things that aren't as fun. Especially like now that I have to practice during the morning times, the morning hours. I hate practicing during the mornings. I don't know why, but I feel like or like even drills that you don't want to do, but you have to do because you know it'll make you better. I think just finding like random things that like you enjoy. Like let's say it's I don't know. Let's say we're at like setting from our knees or something that Matt's making us do. I don't know. Just like figuring out like when you could use that, or like finding other ways to use it, or using it actually in scrimmages later. You can be like, hey, look, I actually did it. Just like, yeah, I'd say finding the fun, because sometimes things do get repetitive and like the days do get long, but as long as you like, or finding friends that make it fun.
Yeah.
So
Those are great
yeah.
answers.
Kylie, you talked about long days. Do you maybe want to like tell the girls what preseason is like?
Ooh, yeah. So summertime. We'll do, what even is it? For setters, it's different for us because we have to set everybody. They'll do a lot of individual work and then they'll come together as a team at the end of the day. So like during summertime, we'll do 2-a-days, but for setters, it'll be like three days. So we'll start out in the morning. It'll always start out with setters. So we'll do like an hour with setters, and then the hitters will come in and you'll do like halftime with the hitters, and then you'll take a break, and then you'll do like halftime with the other hitters. Like let's say you'll do middles and then outsides, and you'll all take a break from your individual work, and then you'll come back and do like a team practice for 2 hours. So we'll do that, and then we'll do conditioning. So for summertime preseason, it's a lot of conditioning, like running wise, instead of lifting like that you would do in normal season. And then you'd have like 2-a-day practices. Serena, I know you guys do a lot more than that, but for Oregon, we just do 2-day or 2 practices a day for preseason.
We don't do conditioning in preseason though, so you got me on that one.
Really?
Yeah, no conditioning.
Wow. When I went to Penn State, when we went to go play you guys, we warmed up in the practice gym. And by far the most intimidating thing I've ever seen in my entire life was this old banner that was hanging up. It was like off to the side. It was just like one of those things you have to walk past. And it was like, what's the name of that gym? It's like West Gym.
What happens in South Gym stays in South Gym.
That was so scary to me. Because like all of the walls were padded. So it's like, there was no reason to stop going for a ball. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, Penn State's a different animal. So ever since then. But yeah, 2 days practice.
Not easy by any means.
Serena, have you gone to a football game over there?
Never.
Oh.
2 years, never been to a football game.
One, it was awesome. You gotta go. You gotta go at least once. You gotta go once.
Shut up, Brian.
I swear. You gotta go.
Tori, how's your preseason?
Long. I think we don't really do a lot of, I guess, double days because we have the 6 months to train before we start season. But yeah, it's definitely, fall ball is kind of long and gets tiring.
Games.
We have games. We go, I think, to Cal Poly and have that 2 homes, like scrimmages, kind of like tournaments with Cal and St. Mary's comes down to, but it's not too crazy. It just gets really repetitive. But yeah, 3.5 hours a day.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You could, like, Tori, if you could talk to, let's say, like, 15-year-old version of you, is there anything that you would tell your then version of yourself? Same thing with you, Kylie. Now, knowing what you know now, being what your second year in college.
Enjoy it more. Is that cliche?
No, it's not. I would answer the same thing, and you've been. I love the joy answer. It's good. It's a good answer. Kylie.
I don't know. I was very sentimental in high school because my dad was like, high school was the best time of my life. Like, I still have all my high school buddies. I remember high school sports like it was yesterday. He's like, you're gonna love it. So I like was really focused on like trying to take every
Oh, she's gone.
maybe not.
You're back. You're back.
Huh? Oh, did I freeze? Dang.
You're back.
Okay, what did I say last?
You're good.
Okay. I said. Okay. I was saying like I think I was very sentimental. Did I freeze?
So while Kylie comes back from freezing, Tori, I'll just say, Kylie,
Dang!
you're back. But Kylie also, not only was she sentimental, Kylie probably of all players I've ever had the most superstitions of anybody that I've ever been around. Like, Kylie, are you back now? Are you here?
Yeah.
You're good? Can you talk? Are you still superstitious? What kind of stuff do you do?
None
Tell
of
us the story after Kylie's done. Are you superstitious, and what do you do? Same with Serena. I'm curious.
I don't even know where to start with my superstitions. Every game day I wear the same scrunchie. I think I froze again. This is crazy.
Oh, you're here.
Okay.
You're good. You didn't freeze. You're good.
Okay. Every game day, I use the same scrunchie. I can only use one scrunchie per season. So like if I break that scrunchie, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But it's like my good luck scrunchie. I can wear other scrunchies during practice, but game time, it's a single scrunchie. That's why in all the pictures, the same scrunchie. I have to do the same thing before each game. So I don't even know. It's like an absurd amount of superstitions. Like if I have a bad play, I'll tap my fingers 3 times. If I'm like not, like it's so bad. People started catching on to them though, and it's kind of annoying because like my coach will see and he'll start calling me out on them, so I have to like make new ones. But before practices I would always have to like I don't even know where to start, guys. I'm just gonna embarrass myself if I say all of the superstitions I have. I always have to enter practice, like I always have to be like the first person in behind this person. When we're in the national anthem, I always have to like make eye contact with Taylor for like absurd. Has it gotten worse? Yes. Should I go back to just not doing superstitions? I don't think I ever had that, but I should. Tori, what are your superstitions?
I don't have really any.
What?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I think if I play really well with having something like a hair tie, then I try to use that hair tie for as long as possible. And if I play bad, I'm like, well, it's not lucky anymore. So go on with it. For freshman year, I'd always eat the same snack before games. I guess that's something. I didn't do it this year.
Serena, you have any?
Not really. I'm not really like a committed person. I don't stick to things, you know. It's just like I do something. I used to have to wear a hair tie on my wrist, like underneath our long sleeve jerseys, because I felt like cool because we're not supposed to wear hair ties, but I do that. And eventually I just kept losing them and I just stopped. But yeah, nothing as bad as Kylie.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well,
Every morning before practice, it would be a chocolate chip granola bar, a light blue Gatorade, and an applesauce. And if I didn't have those, I was gonna practice.
Well,
Bye. This is the longest freeze yet.
Let's see. How about this? If there was, do you guys think, just out of, do you guys think?
Why does my internet suck?
Tori, you're a pretty good all-around player. So is Kylie. You guys are both good all-around players. A lot of times I feel like players when they're young they feel like they need to play a certain position. Do you think that's true, or do you think that it's good to play a bunch of different things? There's no right answer, whatever you guys think.
I'm going to say play a bunch of different things just because that's what I did. And that's what, I guess, beach volleyball kind of, oh, she's gone. Where'd she go?
She'll find her way back.
Okay.
Brian, you were too mean to her.
I think for beach, at least, like, it's really important to have all the skills because you have to use all of them. But I think when it comes to, I wish I was tall. That's what I'm going to say. I wish I could change the fact that I'm short.
Me too. Me both.
That one.
It's all right. You're better that, like, honestly, I felt like you're better that way because of it. Like, you wouldn't be you if you were tall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kylie, welcome back. What's going
I
on?
hot spotted it, guys. We're good.
It's good to have you back. It didn't feel right until now,
Oh, thanks. Yeah. What'd I miss?
I don't remember. What were we talking about just now?
What did you ask me? Playing one position versus playing.
Oh, yeah, playing multiple positions. If you think when you're younger, like, should you specialize into one skill or learn a bunch of different things? What are your thoughts on that?
I think learn a bunch of different things. I think, like, going from being a hitter to being a setter, it's a lot easier to understand what people want. They're like, I want it. They're like, I want it higher. I'm like, but do you just want more time? I'm like, because I could just make it slower instead of lobbing the ball all the way up there. So I think, like, just knowing, like, other ways of seeing how things happen is helpful when you switch positions. So doing as many as you can is great.
And I felt like, too, it gave you a better understanding of, like, what other people are going through on the court. Like, it's hard.
Yeah.
If you've never played that position or never done that, it's hard for you to actually understand what that's like, And so
Yeah.
I think that's a cool aspect of it as well.
Yeah.
Serena, you got any zingers?
No, I'm just stretching. Yeah.
So what do you guys just looking forward for you guys when you guys do end up going back into college and like that? Like, are you guys doing any kind of, like, goal setting right now? Are you guys doing anything like that, or is it just kind of chilling and going about this?
I think going back to school next year, definitely appreciating, like, practice a little more, because I think that was really hard for me, like, obviously showing up and getting better and doing as well as I can, but definitely appreciating it more and understanding that it is a blessing to be there. So, yeah, that.
Really good answer, because it is a blessing. Like, you're getting perspective, What's up, Molly? What do you got?
Yeah. We haven't honestly just been chilling a little bit because we were kind of about to, like, get things rolling, and we were all, like, in the mood of, like, coming back after a week of break instead of I don't know how many months now. But I think we're all just, like, starting to do our goal setting and, like, starting to talk about, okay, like, how are we going to become better? How, like, what are we going to do this next season that we didn't do before and all that stuff. And, like, we had a bunch of meetings about how to become better at handling college situations, because, like, not even half, like 10 people out of, like, the 13 people on our team were freshmen. So it's just, like, coming back and getting into the mojo and, like, all that jazz. So a lot of goal setting, I guess. But
did you guys ever have any, like, just in terms, one of the big thing is obviously, like, resolving conflict, just when you're on teams and that kind of stuff happening. Did that ever happen on your teams in college, and how'd you guys resolve that? What do you guys think the best way to go about it is? Just anything with that?
My freshman year, we had some rule breaking on the team. Very interesting. Didn't know that was a thing. I don't know, SG, we were all pretty much the same. But being in college, like having such different personalities, like from different places and like different backgrounds, we did have a little bit of conflict from coach to team. So there was a little bit of rule breaking, but we did have a lot of like captain coach kind of talks and stuff. So that was a little bit different. But this past year, we did not have as many conflicts. The only thing that we had was like getting places on time because we were a lot of freshmen. A lot of people would sleep through their alarm. That was really awkward showing up to practice. Like, hey, we have a minute left. Where is everybody? We're like, they all come showing later.
Did you guys get, was there a punishment for that, or what was the deal?
So the standard punishment is whatever you're late to, you don't get to do and you have to make up on your own time. So if you're late to a workout or Coach Rad's workout, which he will be watching his clock. His clock's off too. First of all, his clock's off by like 2 minutes. So it throws everybody else off. But if you're late to Coach Rad's lift in the morning, you'll have to do it on your own time, like figure out the hours of the CAS center, which is like a lifting center and like athletic training center for all the athletes. So you have to do that on your own time, but you have to sit there and watch the rest of us do it. And then if you're on time to practice, then you can practice. But if you're late to practice, I don't even know what happens if you're late to practice because nobody's done that yet. But I'm sure something really bad. But yeah.
Tori, do you have any punishments if anyone did anything like that happen to you guys?
Yeah, actually freshman year, one of the first travel trips, me and my roommate now actually, who's no longer on the team but was on the team freshman year, we thought there was some miscommunications and it wasn't clear, so we thought that we were leaving the locker room at 3:30 to head to the bus, but turns out we were supposed to be at the bus by 3:30 or something like that, and we figured that out about 10 minutes before on the way to the locker room, and the walk from where we drop off our bikes to the locker room to the bus is about 6-7 minutes, so biking all the way from across campus, we ended up being like 2 or 3 minutes late, and we definitely have a few extra punishment workouts. It's what we had to do was we carried I think a 20-pound or a 10-pound plate. I think it was 10 pounds or 10 kilograms, and had to do push and then sit-ups with it. So times 3 how many minutes we were late.
So be on time is what I'm getting.
Be on time. Be on time.
Punctuality. It's all about punctuality. We're getting a question here. Someone's asking, who are your biggest volleyballs for all three of you? Who are your biggest volleyball influences? And then we actually asked the other half of the question already. But who are your biggest volleyball influences?
Brian.
Kylie, my heart.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh,
Brian's my favorite, everybody. Nobody's topped Brian. Unless Matt's asking, then I have to say Matt because he's really annoying about stuff like that.
Kylie, just to let you know too, like I'm on it. Thank you. You know, like that feels super good. This is being recorded though. I just wanted to let you know that.
Oh, great.
Tori?
I love to say a men beach volleyball player named Taylor Crabb.
Oh, nice. Good pick.
He is on the shorter side, but he can hit a ball really hard, and so I look up to that.
Totally.
Yeah.
Serena?
Maybe not like in volleyball, because I don't really have someone that like inspires me, but I would say someone who's like inspires me in life is one of my best friends. And because of them, I've like really gone on this journey to like self-discovery and bettering myself. And like my therapist was like saying that for months, and I was like, maybe I will, maybe I won't. And my friend was like, no, you need to figure out your life. And then I was like, got it.
That's a good answer. I like that. It doesn't always have to be from volleyball. I like that. I think that's great. Just to finish up, like the last question here, just something kind of silly. What is one thing that in the last 2 months that you've, in these circumstances, that you've done that you've never done before in your entire life, that you were like, holy cow, I can't believe that I did that? Is there anything like that happened? I can give an example if it helps.
That's your example.
My example was, oh gosh, what is one thing that I was doing? One thing that I did that's, like now, honestly, this is super dumb and this is a super simple example, but now like I like that I brush my teeth after I get to drink coffee. That's like the dumbest, like littlest thing, but I've never done that before. I haven't done that, but that's changed in a very small way. Is there like anything like that? Like all of a sudden I'm getting my groceries delivered. I've never done that before. Like, is there anything that you guys are having that you're doing that's just unique to this time, you know?
I would say really random. I organized my entire Spotify. So I did playlists according to color. So instead of like, yeah, really weird. My brother made fun of me for it for like a week. But I did like a playlist that makes you feel like a certain color. So I have like soft pink, off-white, pastel blue, electric blue, all of that. And then I figured out how to like, I don't know. I was really into Spotify when the break first started because I have nothing to do. So I was like, okay, we'll just find new music.
So
yeah.
You did the songs by color, like by.
So they all kind of have like the same vibe, but they all kind of remind me of this one color. They just make me feel like a color.
Super cool.
You have like that weird thing where people like see colors as they listen to music, but Lord is like that.
Okay, I just learned about that one of my psych classes. I was shook. I don't want to say I have that. That's a little far. But I feel like you can feel like a color, you know?
No.
In your spot, I feel like you can feel a color. I'm on Kylie's side on this one.
You know?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I feel that way also.
I mean, maybe you feel blue, abadai, but like, I feel mint green. Do you, Brian?
Yeah, that's just a song. Yeah, but I feel like if you're looking at something and you get colors that it can give you a certain feeling and make you feel a certain way, I feel that way. Kylie, I'm on your side.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was I? Where were we talking? What about you, Tori? You guys?
I've been thinking. I don't know. Staying in bed for too long.
Yeah, like something like that. That's normal stuff.
Tried making the whipped coffee that's famous right now.
That was good.
Or popular. What else? Did school outside for a few days or full day. Never done that before.
Cool.
Yeah.
Happy belated birthday, Kylie.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, that's from SG Elite. Happy belated.
Thanks.
All right. Well, I just want to say thank you guys for doing this. Not only are you like really, really, really good volleyball players, but you're obviously very interesting and good people. So thank you for coming back and sharing some of your stories with everybody here, and we appreciate it. And Serena, thank you for being the co-host. I couldn't do it without you.
Yeah, having a good time.
So,
Nice meeting you, Tori. Nice seeing you again, Kylie.
Anytime.
Sometime in the future, Trent.
all right.
Thank you so much.
See you guys next week at the next Alumnae.